What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. I hope everyone had an amazing weekend, and we have a lot to talk about in today's video. There is still a ton of hype with Lucid Motors going on. They actually started their deliveries yesterday, October 30th, which is great. They are an electric vehicle stock, and they have been trending in an amazing way. So we're definitely going to be covering that and some other big stocks for the rest of the week. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day, and make sure to let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below, and we can probably cover them in tomorrow's video. But Tom, let's get right into today's episode.
Yep. And like you said, we had Lucid really starting to pop off, and we can see that in after hours on Friday, Mike, Lucid was still holding its ground very well. And we actually had a big pop up at market open Friday, and then Lucid just kind of came back down and consolidated around that $36 support that they've been sitting at ever since they passed above it. But the good news is that it's still holding its ground very well. We can look here on the daily, and I feel like that there's still potential for this. You know, we have had a humongous rise already, but with all the hype and stuff coming in, with these deliveries starting, you know, people are starting to talk about Lucid possibly, obviously not catching up to Tesla, but being at least a good competitor to Tesla, which is awesome to see. And I think that their stock has some pretty good potential for this week, and it's still leading on Wall Street bets. It's leading a lot of the popular lists and stuff like that. So I really like it. I love this $36 support. And as long as that holds up, I feel like we have a pretty good chance to have a nice pop.
You know it. So it is an EV stock. You know, everyone knows that. And, you know, these EV stocks have been going crazy. You look at Tesla, Ford, GM, like there's a lot of other examples too. And, you know, even Tesla is just exploding, Tom. I mean, we're getting really close to like $1,200 a share. So all in all, they're in a great sector. They made their first deliveries. And while we're on the, I guess you could say, subject of Tesla, what's going on there?
Yeah, they're popping off. Like you said, they just broke their all-time high on Friday as well. And I know they ran up last week to around that $1,100 area. That move on Friday was awesome. And I love how at the end of the day, they had a huge resurgence back up and they finally broke that high. And I feel like that it's not just Lucid going up here. Obviously, Lucid, it might be just following along with Tesla and some of the other bigger companies. Like I know Lucid's obviously having good news with their Lucid Air, with that 520-mile range being the longest ranged EV out yet, which is a pretty big accomplishment there. But either way, I mean, Tesla's been flying up over the past couple of weeks, and it's bringing up a lot of these other smaller companies. Even XPEV has been getting a pretty big pop up over the past couple of weeks with Tesla.
There we go. So before we transition topics, I just want to cover some of the major levels on Lucid. So when we look at Lucid, we can see that they've been on a really strong uptrend for the past couple weeks. Like, what are some of the major levels you are watching?
The biggest level I think to look for that we actually just passed above is going to be the $30 support. That was a pretty big support. And when we finally broke it, we moved from $30 pretty much all the way up to $40 within that one trading day. So that's going to be a pretty big support if we start to fall back to the downside. Now, as resistance here, we can see back here, whenever Lucid ran up on during February and March, you can see that they had this one candle right here, kind of right around the $40 area, which is where we're at right now. So you can maybe say that $40 to like $42 might post as a pretty good resistance given what we've seen here in the past. And I also just want to say that on an intraday level, it seems like that $36 support that I talked about earlier is going to hold up as a pretty good intraday level. So definitely look out for $36. After that, I see $30. There's also a little bit of support here right around, you could say like $33.50.
There we go. So some of the major levels I was watching was definitely that $44 level. That acted as a pretty strong resistance in the past. And if Lucid breaks above 44, there really isn't any like major resistance until 50. So just keep that in mind. And then Tom, what other major news we have heading into this week?
You know, a lot of people have been talking about the new Facebook news, Mike. I know that they changed their name to Meta, and they've been talking a lot about doing augmented reality, a lot of stuff about the metaverse coming out. I feel like this has been really interesting lately. Like lots of people have been very interested in like what they could possibly be doing. And, you know, the sound of a metaverse sounds pretty cool. And I feel like it could be a pretty good scenario. Obviously, there's lots of information to come out about this. And I'm sure that Facebook has a lot of big plans in place. So definitely look out. But I just wanted to talk about it because, Facebook's been going down pretty drastically here over the past few months. Their stock has really taken a tumble from around 380 a share. Now we're sitting around 320 a share. And I feel like that Facebook did a pretty good strategic move here. I really like the way that they came out with this during this very bad time. Like their stock was starting to tumble. There were these whistleblowers coming out. Congress has been saying that Facebook isn't trustworthy and all this stuff. And I feel like that it was a very smart strategic move by Zuckerberg to come out with all this information right now and for them to make this move. I think it really might turn around their stock. And because a lot of people are starting to hype this up, and that's exactly what Facebook needs. Like they've been losing the hype over the past couple months, and I feel like if people start to trust them again, and if they keep coming out with this good news, it'll just be awesome for them in the future.
Very interesting. And then I even heard there was a little bit of trouble going on with American Airlines.
Yeah, they had to actually cancel 1,200 flights. And, we saw Southwest do this a few weeks ago. It just sucks to see American Airlines doing it again. And they're actually doing it for the same reason Southwest was. They're citing weather problems and then staffing delays again. So obviously there's been problems staffing these airlines with the different mandates and stuff going on. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. But American Airlines is right on support. Hopefully this does not make them fall below this $18 support. That would be pretty bad for them in the short term.
All right, and then Tom, we have another huge week for earnings. Pull up the chart and what are some of the top ones you have your eyes on?
I'm really keeping my eye on Activision here on Tuesday after close. I think that with the new Call of Duty game coming out, that one's going to be awesome to look at. Qualcomm and SKLZ and Fastly on Wednesday are going to be my three there. And then we cannot forget DraftKings on Friday, of course. They're one of our favorites. We have DraftKings, Coinbase, and Canopy Growth, which is CGC on Friday.
There we go. I definitely have my eyes on DraftKings, but across the board, we have some pretty big names reporting. Can't forget about Fastly, Etsy, Roku, stuff like that. So it should be a really fun week, and I can't wait to see how DraftKings does. But let's get right into our member of the day, and that is Anna W. So huge shout out, Anna. Thank you so much for all the supportive and informational comments you leave on the YouTube channel. Tom and I really appreciate it, and huge shout out to you. And then Tom, let's get right into these momentum plays for tomorrow. And with the first one, we have BLNK to the upside.
Yep, and with Blink, they had a pretty good move here at the end of the day on Friday. Make them break above this one candle at 32.30.
All right, with the next one, we have ABBV.
Yep, AbbVie. Go ahead and make them break above 115 or 115.50 if they break that in pre-market.
All right, and then with the last one, we have CHWY.
Yeah, these guys have been really popping off lately. Make them break out above 76.35.
Sounds good. So we are watching these three plays for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, but only if they break the levels Tom listed. And like I said, they're just quick in and out day trades to the upside, but they have to break the level Tom listed. And let's get right into the comments from the previous video. We have Chili saying Palantir will have a big third quarter, buying calls. So Tom, Palantir's at least been holding its ground over the past couple weeks. I know they've been struggling a lot, generally speaking, but I'm eagerly waiting for a pop back up.
Yeah, me too. And they hit that $30 resistance a few weeks ago, and then they ended up coming right back down, and they've just been consolidating for a while. And we've been seeing a lot of the growth stocks pop off lately, like Lucid, Enphase, you name it. If it's a growth stock, it probably went up over the past couple weeks. So looking at that, I think Palantir has a lot of potential. I love the way it closed Friday, and you can see how much it moved in after hours, got back up towards that high of 26. And I think it has a lot of potential for the next few weeks.
There we go. All right, and then with the next comment, we have, with the next comment, we have Jack saying, thoughts on CHPT. And Tom, this one has been looking pretty good lately. I know we've been watching it for a couple months now, but I actually really like the setup.
Yeah, me too. Once again, it's just following a lot of these other growth stocks to the upside. As we can see, you have BLNK starting to pop off, CHPT's popping off. Enphase has been having some great moves, making new all-time highs even. It's been a really good time for these growth stocks. And this is why we were talking about buying the dips down here. And that's why we were so adamant about it whenever these stocks were around support. And now they're all flying right back up. I do see CHPT, though, coming right back up to a resistance right around $26. So be careful of that.
There we go. And then we have Tyler saying BKKT, please. So, Tom, this was the one with like crypto and like MasterCard and all that stuff. And I was watching it on Friday. This thing just exploded. It was up like 66%. It just has so much momentum. And, they're running off of like pretty good news too, like a MasterCard partnership plus crypto. So, it's definitely one to keep on your radar, but I will say this. Like I would say there's been a lot of setups that kind of have like this explosive movement where it goes from like $10 up to 40 or 50. And that's awesome. And it could present a lot of opportunities for like short-term day trades, but you got to be really, really careful playing these setups because some of these options just get so overpriced, like especially when implied volatility is over 250%.
Yeah, that's really crazy actually to see that implied volatility. The implied volatility is almost going up faster than the stock itself, Mike.
Right?
It's pretty crazy actually.
Yeah, that's crazy. But either way, like it has a lot of momentum, so like it's not bad for like a very short-term play, but you just have to be really careful.
Yeah, like I feel like if it goes up and you see it break the high, like if it breaks 46.75 tomorrow, like whenever the market opens, or if you see a lot of volume and it comes in and we finally break that high, it might be a good time to just trade it for a quick scalp play to the upside. You could get in for just the 10 to 15-minute trade right there. And those can be fairly safe if you time them right.
There we go. So guys, if you are looking for a free trading community to join, definitely check out the first link in the description and the comments down below. It is the Stocked Up Discord chat. We have free day trades in an amazing community. If you're a stock trader, options trader, if you dabble in crypto, we have a bunch of people in the chat, and it's a great community overall. And best of all, it's free. So definitely check it out. It's going to be that first link in the description and the comments down below. Completely free community to join. But with that being said, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything you are watching for tomorrow?
I'm really keeping my eyes still on some of these growth stock setups, but one stock I'm really watching that has been very interesting lately is Facebook, of course, with this Meta news. I know we talked about them a little bit earlier, but they're actually sitting right at this 325 resistance level. And I feel like if they start to break out of this on Monday morning, they could have a pretty good move, especially with this news coming in. I feel like Facebook might get some hype back into them. So definitely keep them on your radar. I'm also going to really be eyeing up Pfizer. I know they have earnings coming up later in the week, but they're getting really close to this $44 resistance. And if they break above that on Monday, it can make for a pretty good day trade.
Sounds great. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let us know what stocks you are watching, and we will cover them in tomorrow's video. If you like our content, definitely subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But other than that, thanks for watching.